Hi guys, it's Natalie. So I wanted to do a video today about, back in the days, this statement, back in the days, during my parents' time, during my grandparents' time, and the list goes on. But today, I want to focus on the marriage and the relationship. Many people keep telling me, well, back in the days during my grandparents' time, nobody got a divorce. During my parents' time, my parents never got a divorce. My parents died together. My parents pulled through. I have a reality check for you, okay? Just because your parents did not get a divorce officially on paper, number one, does not mean you were exposed to a healthy, thriving relationship. Number two, does not necessarily mean your parents were not emotionally divorced. It could have been that they weren't divorced on a paper, meaning they didn't live in two houses, but they only lived together as home or roommates or whatever you want to call it. They lived side by sides of each other instead of with each other, right? So being married and not getting a divorce is not necessarily the key to what you want to teach your children. Being married is more than two people living together. Let me repeat that. Being married in a good, healthy relationship is more than two people living in a home taking care of responsibilities. It's more than that. It is not a business transaction. It is not enough that the mother takes care of the house, cooks, cleans, provides foods, and the husband goes to work and brings money home, right? This looks like a group home. This literally becomes a group home. What we need to remember is that a healthy relationship, a lot of it has to also do with the affection, the emotional connection, the appreciation, the attachment, and the dynamic between the parents and between the parents and the children. That's what makes a home, which is different than a group home, a dormitory, and a facility. Children need to be exposed to emotions, to feelings, to empathy, to consideration, to compassion, to affection, to respect. This is the pillar and foundation of making a home. I am so tired and done with hearing people keep telling me, well, back in Iran and back in Iraq, okay. And therefore, do you think all those children were raised well? Do you think they are the best version of themselves? Look at the amount of anxiety, stress, depression, frustration, eating disorder, alcohol, drugs you see amongst very, very young kids. Technology addiction. They just want to zone out because they're tired of seeing their parents argue, be in tension, and resentment of each other. So if your children are having tantrums, if your children are not getting along, if there's friction in your home, most likely it's also a reflection of the dynamic between the husband and wife. So the relationship between a husband and wife is much more than a business transaction. Maslow did this whole research with monkeys, right? And it showed that the monkeys that were left with a wired food monkey became psychotic, whereas the monkeys that were left with a fluffy monkey thrived a lot better. What did the fluffy monkey represent? The empathy, affection, and connection that humans have the ability to give. Do not underestimate that. And please, please, don't be just proud of yourself that your parents never got a divorce. There's more into a marriage than just not getting an official divorce. It's about being emotionally present, loving, affectionate, respectful, kind, and patient. Remember the fuzzy part. We need to bring that fuzzy part back into our marriages and in our home if we want healthy, developing marriages and children.